Okay, guys, this video is going to make your brain hurt. Why is it going to make my brain hurt, you ask? Well, this is illustrative of how quickly even the most mundane call that we get, in this case, a panic alarm, can go from zero to bullshit just like that. When you watch the video, and this is the official video release from the Greenville County Sheriff's Office here in South Carolina, the agency that I retired from. But I want you to pay attention to the information that the alarm company gives to dispatch and how that in turn affects what the deputy goes into the call armed with, because it's going to matter when you watch this. So pay attention. This is fairly new. It just dropped this week. Dropped like it's a fucking music video. It just came out this week. So pay attention, and we'll talk about it when it's over.
Hello everyone, I'm Lieutenant Ryan Flood, PIO with the Greenville County Sheriff's Office. This critical incident community briefing will provide you with information about an officer-involved shooting that occurred at 305 East Crest Drive in Simpsonville on June 14, 2019. In a moment, you will see relevant video footage and photographs. You will hear a 911 call from an alarm company, radio transmissions, and learn of additional facts that will help provide an accurate overview of what we know occurred at this time of the investigation. The Greenville County Sheriff's Office conducts comprehensive investigations relating to officer-involved shootings, and these investigations may require investigators to conduct extensive interviews, review video and audio recordings, and possibly analyze forensic evidence. Consistent with all officer-involved shootings, we do not draw any conclusions about whether the deputy's actions were consistent with our policies and in accordance with the law until the investigation has been thoroughly completed. A brief disclaimer. The content you're about to see and hear may be disturbing to some viewers. When deputies are put in a position that requires them to use physical force to effect an arrest or defend themselves against a threat, the actions can be graphic and difficult to watch. In addition, some of the language heard in this video might be viewed as strong and offensive. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, I'm Captain Brown of the Greenville County Sheriff's Office, Office of Professional Standards. I'm going to provide you with a brief summary of an officer-involved shooting that took place at 305 East Crest Drive in Simpsonville. On June 13th at around 11:49 p.m., the Greenville County Dispatch Center received a call from an alarm company regarding a panic alarm activation from the residents of 305 East Crest Drive. The alarm company attempted to make contact with the owner of the cell phone, but did not receive an answer. The alarm company then notified the Greenville County Dispatch Center. The county dispatcher also attempted to make contact with the owner of the cell phone without success. A deputy was then dispatched to the home at around 11:54 p.m. Here is the phone call recording from the alarm company, followed by the corresponding radio broadcast.
Greenville County Sheriff's Office, Unit 321.
Hi, this is Jonathan, 5-star urgent response requesting assistance for a subscriber in Simpsonville, South Carolina.
What's the address?
It's going to be 305 East Crest Drive.
East Crest Drive?
Yeah.
Okay, what is it a reference to?
So we received an open silent line, but there is no answer on call back.
Okay, and do you have a cross street or intersection?
I have the nearest cross street as Plantation Drive.
Is it coming from a vehicle, a residence, or what?
It looks to be a panic alarm from a cell phone activation.
Echo 15, Greenville.
Echo 15, what is
Copy of 1044 Bravo from 305 East Crest Drive.
Just after midnight, the first deputy arrived on scene and rang the doorbell, but was unable to make contact with anybody inside. As the deputy proceeded to walk off the front porch to begin the perimeter check of the home, he noticed movement from inside and returned to the front door to further investigate. As the deputy returned to the front door, he noticed the man through the window on the left side of the door. The man, who was later identified as the homeowner, was seen on the deputy's body-worn camera and observed by the deputy holding a gun. Body-worn cameras are used by all officers assigned to field duties. They are typically worn at chest level and give general perspective of what was within the camera's field of view. Once activated, the recording goes back 30 seconds in an effort to capture sudden incidents. The audio, however, does not begin recording until 30 seconds into the segment. This particular incident recording began after the deputy initially stepped off the front porch. According to the deputy, after noticing the man inside, he illuminates him with his flashlight, and as he did so, the man, who was initially walking away from the front door, turned and pointed his gun at him. In an effort to defend himself against a perceived threat, the deputy fired his issued weapon as he retreated off the porch, and subsequently struck the individual multiple times. After a brief communication exchange between the deputy and the homeowner, the deputy entered the residence and began to provide medical attention until EMS arrived on scene.
Sheriff's office! Drop the gun now! Let me see your hands! Let me see your hands! Throw that gun out the door! Throw the gun out the door! Yeah, throw the gun out the door. Let me see your hands.
Who are you?
Yeah, you pointed a gun at me.
Who are you?
The sheriff's office.
What are you here for?
Because we got an alarm call.
Oh my God, call the cops, please.
I am the cops.
Call the ambulance, please.
All right, where's the gun? Where's the gun? All right, don't move it. Are you the only one here?
What's wrong with you, man?
I'm up here.
Bob, call the cops. What's wrong with you? Get the ambulance here.
Where are you hit?
And my groin and my fucking chest. The fuck you doing, man?
You pointed a gun at me, man.
You're in my
Well,
house.
send me 1051. I rang your doorbell because we got an alarm
really
call.
bad in my groin.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Dude, you don't
10-4. Come here, hold this light.
Get the ambulance here, man. I'm gonna
They're
fucking
coming.
die.
They're coming. Just stay
You
with
shot me
me.
here and you shot me here.
All right. Just take some deep breaths.
Fuck!
What is
I saw lights and I heard a doorbell ring and I got it with my gun. I'm a concealed weapons guy. Get the
Okay.
ambulance here, man. I'm gonna die.
No,
Hurry.
you're not. You're not going to die.
Have you called me? Have you called me?
Is the ambulance coming?
They're coming. They're coming.
I'm on my feet. I'm sleeping. I got my fucking CPAP.
Somebody hit a panic alarm for the alarm.
Nobody here.
What's the address here?
305 East Crest Drive.
That's where it came in from.
We don't have an alarm. We don't have an alarm.
Well, that's what we
Come
got
on,
this
I'm
much
bleeding
for.
really bad.
All right, hang on.
Come on.
Hang on. This is going to hurt.
No,
okay?
it's up. It's higher.
It's higher?
It's higher.
Let me see.
Shot me right here, dude.
Okay.
You motherfucker. Why did you do that?
Because you pointed a gun at me,
Dude,
man.
you came to my house at 12 o'clock at night. I'm sleeping. God damn, I gotta protect my house. Oh my God. Get the ambulance,
Go ahead.
man. I'm gonna die.
They're coming. They're coming.
You motherfucker. I can't believe you did this to me.
I'm good. This guy's got 2 gunshot wounds.
The fuck? I can't believe you did this to me, man.
Okay. We're not going to talk about this right now. We're going to focus on keeping you alive, okay?
So take some deep breaths and calm down, and you're gonna be okay, all right? For the next several minutes, first aid was provided to the man until EMS arrived on scene and subsequently transported him to the hospital for medical treatment. The individual has since been released from the hospital and is recovering from his wounds. At this time in the investigation, we have learned that the panic alarm was received from a cell phone medical assist app from an occupant inside the residence. However, there was no immediate emergency that was needed. The individual who was shot was not charged with any crime, and therefore, his information and identity will not be released as part of this video. A Smith & Wesson .38 caliber pistol was recovered from the scene by agents from the South Carolina State Law Enforcement Division.
What'd I tell you? Instant shit show, right? So the alarm company calls in a panic alarm at such and such address, and when pressed for more information, they can provide a cross street, but all they can tell the dispatcher, the call taker, is that it's a panic alarm and they've got no answer on callback. And from what I understand, our dispatcher also tried to make contact with the residents, didn't get anybody. So when you get dispatched to the call, and put yourself in this deputy's shoes for a second, when you get dispatched to this call, you know you've got a panic alarm, you know two separate entities have tried to make contact and haven't gotten any answer. So when you get there, you ring the doorbell, you wait a second, you don't hear anything, you don't see anything, and then you catch out of the corner of your eye movement on the inside of the home. You light it up with your flashlight, and lo and behold, there stands somebody with a gun. Is it the guy who just murdered everybody in the house? Is it the homeowner? Is it... who the hell knows? All you know is that you're there at a panic alarm, and nobody picked up the phone, and now there's a guy pointing a gun at you. So what do you do? Do you wait around and find out? Do you ask questions? Do you do what this deputy did? I mean, it's a tragically fucked up situation. And I feel for the homeowner because he obviously did nothing wrong. In the deputy, I've got to put myself in his shoes and say, well, what would I do? Well, do you make assumptions? I mean, you kind of have to in this instance, because all you know is what you've been told. And what you've been told is there's a panic alarm, nobody picked up on callback 2 times, and now there's a guy pointing a gun at you. I mean, there it is. So as it turns out, as you just saw, the homeowner was doing what any homeowner would do, what I would do. Somebody rings my doorbell at midnight, you're damn right I'm coming downstairs with a gun. So it's a perfect storm of dumpster fires, I guess. And now this deputy's got to live, you know, with knowing that he shot a guy that didn't need to be shot. Let me take that back. He shot a guy that was the homeowner. He fell back on his training, and he did what he thought was the best thing to do in that given situation, based on the information that he had and what was presented to him in that moment. So the next question is, who's on the hook here? And as it turns out, and this is, I'm going to give you guys some I guess, specious information, some hearsay, some third-party grapevine, Lance Corporal Underground, fucking E4 Mafia. The alarm was an app, a medical app on this guy's phone, and it was in reality a medical panic versus a panic alarm for a residence. As you heard the homeowner state, we don't have an alarm. Well, apparently he had some kind of medical app that would alert an alarm company that he was having some kind of medical problem, and that's what got called in, but it wasn't distinguished between a medical situation and a potentially criminal situation. So, you know, there's that. That could be problematic for somebody. And again, that's just what I've heard. I'm just gonna throw that out there for you as Stanley barks upstairs. Anyway, leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think about this, and subscribe to the channel so we can keep moving on. And once we get to 100 followers, I'll get my own URL, and then I don't have to post this stupid link all the time. You guys be safe, or something.